I've been thinking a lot about what's happening in the auto industry right now. And honestly, it reminds me of the early days of SpaceX when people said reusable rockets were impossible, and we were basically insane for even trying. But here we are again, except this time it's about autonomy and the future of transportation, and I'm watching these legacy automakers circling around with clipboards trying to figure out how to stay relevant while the ground is shifting under their feet and they still don't quite see it. And the funniest, or maybe the most tragic part, is that some of them are acting like they hold the upper hand in licensing negotiations for full self-driving, as if we're the ones desperate to cut a deal when the reality is the opposite, because we've spent more than a decade building this system from the ground up using billions of miles of real-world data and an AI training compute infrastructure that honestly rivals most national labs. And when they come to the table insisting on these rigid terms, like they want to dictate how the tech should work or how rapidly it evolves, or even who gets priority on updates. It's like watching someone demand control of a rocket they don't know how to fly. And I keep telling them, look, autonomy isn't a side feature, it's an exponential curve. And once you fall behind that curve, catching up becomes almost impossible. And I'm trying to warn them, but not everyone wants to hear the warning, because hearing it would mean admitting that they spent years dismissing something that is now about to define the entire industry. And I'm saying this not because I want to dominate the space, but because the future is coming faster than they expect, and the companies that adapt will survive, and the ones that don't will fade the same way companies faded in the early days of smartphones. And it's strange watching them repeat history by pretending the disruption isn't real. Meanwhile, Tesla is pushing forward on supervised FSD, unsupervised FSD, next-gen neural networks, end-to-end training, dojo scaling, everything we need to take autonomy across the threshold. And I'm telling them that we're willing to license it because we actually want the world to move faster toward safer roads. But I can't force someone to see the cliff ahead if they're determined to look in the rearview mirror. And that's why I say publicly that some of these companies might not make it if they don't change direction. Because this isn't just about electric vehicles or software updates or who has the best marketing. This is about whether you're willing to bet the entire company on a future that's already arriving. And if you're not, then you're going to get overtaken faster than you think. And I'm not saying it to scare them, though maybe they should be a little scared. I'm saying it because we've been on this trajectory for years, and the window for others to make the leap is closing. And I don't want to look back a decade from now and think, we try to warn them, but they refuse to listen, and then autonomy reshaped the entire market without them. And when I look back at all the meetings and all the conversations behind closed doors with these legacy automakers, I keep thinking about how many of them still operate like it's 1995, as if the world will politely wait for them to catch up, and they come in with these long lists of conditions, like they think they're buying windshield wipers instead of an AI system that needs to learn and iterate at planetary scale. And I sit there trying to explain that autonomy is not a static product. It's not something you freeze for 6 months, while committees review documentation and hold 13 meetings about whether the on button should be round or square. Because FSD evolves every single day, and any company that tries to slow it down to fit into their old processes is gonna fall off the wave completely. And I tell them, look, Tesla didn't get here by playing safe. We got here by embracing the unknown, by running the largest vision-based neural net training operation on Earth, by testing on billions of real-world miles, and by accepting that you can't become a software-driven company while thinking like a hardware-driven one. And yet some of these automakers still act like they're doing us a favor by even showing up, and they tell us things like, we want full access to the training pipeline, or we want to decide when updates roll out, or our legal team will need 2 years to approve integration. And I'm thinking, guys, if you need 2 years to approve an update, the market is going to replace you in 18 months. And I'm not exaggerating, the world moves at the speed of code now, not the speed of corporate procedure. And what's really wild is that a few of them secretly admit it off the record. They say things like, we know we're behind, we just don't know how to change our culture fast enough. And I get that because big organizations have inertia, but inertia doesn't matter to disruption. Disruption doesn't slow down out of courtesy. And I tell them that the reason I sound the alarm publicly isn't because I want Tesla to be the only winner, but because someone needs to wake the industry up before an entire generation of automotive giants becomes the next BlackBerry or Kodak. Except this time, the stakes are literal lives saved or lost, because autonomy isn't just a feature. It's a safety revolution, and if FSD becomes dramatically safer than human driving, then every year of delay means thousands of people who didn't have to die still dying. And that's why I keep pushing, even if it makes people uncomfortable, because comfort is the enemy of progress. And sometimes the only way to move forward is to make it obvious that standing still is actually moving backward. And I wish more of them understood that, because right now we're on the verge of something enormous, something that will redefine personal transport, logistics, urban planning, ownership models, everything. And the companies that embrace that future will thrive, while the ones that cling to the past will fade. And I'm trying to give them a chance to choose which side of history they want to be on before the choice disappears entirely. And the thing that keeps surprising me, even after all these years, is how often people underestimate how fast exponential change feels from the inside. Because from the outside, it looks slow at first, like nothing is happening, like autonomy is always 5 years away, like it's just a flashy demo here and there. But then the curve turns and suddenly it feels like the future is showing up all at once. And that's exactly where we are right now. On the cusp of autonomy becoming not just viable, but inevitable. And you can actually feel the shift in the air when you're working on it every day. When you're watching the neural nets train and improve, and watching edge cases disappear, and watching the system do things that 6 months earlier would have seemed impossible. And meanwhile, these big automakers keep asking for guarantees about a world that doesn't exist yet. They want certainty in a universe built around iteration, and they want control in a field where the only winning strategy is to surrender to speed and let the data guide you. And I tell them this over and over again, that autonomy is the great equalizer, but also the great divider, because once the line is crossed, once a company demonstrates consistent, safer than human driving at scale, that becomes the new baseline for everyone, and any manufacturer who can't reach it or won't license it is going to lose the trust of consumers almost overnight, and some of them will say to me quietly, like they're confessing a secret, that they're afraid of losing their identity, as if integrating FSD means giving up who they are. But I keep telling them that identity isn't the engine that moves the future forward. Adaptability is, and the companies that redefine themselves survive, while the ones who cling to nostalgia disappear into textbooks and museum wings. And I don't want that to happen to them. I genuinely don't, because the world needs competition. The world needs innovation from every direction. And I don't want a future where only a few companies shape everything. But I can't drag anyone into the future. They have to step into it themselves. And so when I warn them publicly, it's not some villain monologue. It's a reality check, because the clock is ticking and the road ahead is changing faster than they think. And if they don't pivot soon, they won't just fall behind. They'll vanish into the noise of history, replaced by newer, faster, more adaptive players, and it will all happen so quietly that one day people will look around and wonder how the giants of the past disappeared without a sound. And the truth will be that they didn't disappear suddenly. They just refused to move when the world moved without